All right, picture this. It's late, you're in bed, just scrolling on your phone. You know the drill. You think you're alone, right? Well, you're not. And I'm not talking about some ghost in the attic. I'm talking about something way more persistent. So welcome to your digital ghost story. You know that feeling, right? That little shiver you get when an ad pops up for something you swear you only thought about? It's that super creepy, uncanny feeling. Like if your browser history could actually talk, it'd be a full-on poltergeist, just throwing things around your house. Yep, you are. And not by Casper the Friendly Ghost. You're being watched by your digital ghost. Now, this isn't some sheet with eye holes. It's a phantom made entirely of data. Think of it as a spectral copy of you that tags along anywhere there's a Wi-Fi signal. And here's the kicker. It probably knows you better than you know yourself. All right, so let's get into it. Part 1. We're going to meet your digital ghost. How does this thing even get created? What is it even made of? Let's pull back the curtain and meet this phantom that's haunting your devices. Okay, so it all kicks off with something called your digital footprint. That's the technical term for it. Basically, it's the trail of, well, data ectoplasm you leave behind you everywhere you go online. It's a record of everything, what you say, where you go, every little thing you like. And this is how that ghost is born. Every single website you visit, every post you like or share, every purchase, every single search you type, even the apps you give permissions to. Every one of these actions is like a little ghostly echo, a whisper. You could even think of it like digital dandruff, these little flakes of you just shedding everywhere you go. And they don't just vanish. Oh no. They build up and up and up until they create this incredibly detailed, high-def version of you. So who's collecting all these ghostly breadcrumbs? Well, they're called data brokers. You can think of them as the modern-day ghost hunters of the internet. The paranormal investigators, right? They're out there scooping up all your digital echoes, packaging them up, and then selling your ghost's deepest, darkest secrets to whoever's willing to pay. So that leads to the next big question. Who's buying all this stuff? And what in the world are they doing with it? Let's get into part 2, where we unmask these invisible stalkers. Because trust me, they're summoning your ghost for a lot more than just showing you ads for shoes you looked at once. Here's a perfect example. You've seen those quizzes, right? Which Friends character are you? It seems like harmless fun. You click a few buttons, find out you're totally a Chandler, and move on. But what's really happening? That quiz is like a Trojan horse. While you're laughing, you're actually answering questions that reveal your income bracket, your lifestyle, your personality. It's basically a financial interrogation disguised as fun, and it's all used to build a scarily accurate profile of you. And the result? Well, your digital ghost ends up with a whole second career that you never even applied for. Seriously. Insurance companies might see your late-night pizza posts and decide you're a higher risk. Lenders could scan your online shopping habits, and that might actually affect your loan application. And yeah, employers are absolutely screening your social media for what they call red flags. So you see, this isn't just about creepy ads. This is about real-world decisions that can seriously impact your life. And that brings us to part 3. And this is a really chilling reality. The web never forgets. Once you put something out there online, trying to get rid of it completely is, well, it's almost impossible. So let's hold a little seance with your old search history and see just how long its memory really is. Just look at the life cycle of forgotten data. It's crazy. Let's say back in 2015, you signed up for some random social media site and made a password. By 2018, you've totally forgotten about it, but your data is still sitting on their servers. Then, fast forward to 2025, that site gets hacked. Your old login details are leaked. And boom, in 2026, something you did over a decade ago becomes a very real threat to you today. Trying to delete data for good is like trying to get glitter out of a carpet. You'll be finding that stuff for years. And we're not talking about small leaks here. The scale is just mind-boggling. Just in 2024, data breaches exposed over 276 million healthcare records. Think about that. 276 million. That is like the doors to the world's biggest haunted house being blown wide open, and all of our most private, sensitive information is just out there. The consequences of that are terrifyingly real. Now, thankfully, it's not a total free-for-all. There are some rules for this haunted house. We've got laws like GDPR over in Europe, CCPA in California, and others. They give you powerful tools, like the right to be forgotten. But, and this is a big but, they aren't magic force fields. The responsibility still falls on you to actually know your rights and use them to keep these companies in check. Okay, are you feeling a little haunted yet? Good, because now it's time for the digital exorcism.
Let's pivot from all the scary stuff to the solutions. Part 4 is all about a practical, step-by-step guide to ghost-proofing your digital life.
All right, step 1, tidy up your past. This is basic cleanup. I want you to go search for your own name, your old usernames in a few different browsers. See what comes up. Then, request to have outdated or just plain embarrassing stuff removed. And most importantly, go and delete those old, forgotten accounts you don't use anymore. You know, the cringy blog you had when you're 15. Yeah, a future boss probably doesn't need to see that. Banish it. Okay, step 2 is all about protecting your future. You need to regularly check your privacy settings on the big platforms: Google, Meta, TikTok. Think of these settings like the locks on your doors and windows. You wouldn't just leave them unlocked, right? Opt out of ad personalization. Deny unnecessary app permissions. Seriously, does your flashlight app really need access to your contacts? No. Revoke those permission slips. And if you want to level up your protection, you need the right tools. I like to call these the tools of the digital priesthood. Think of them as your holy water and your silver crosses in this fight. Privacy browsers like Brave or Firefox Focus, they're like a force field against trackers. A good VPN service? That's your invisibility cloak, hiding your location. And email aliases, they're brilliant. They hide your real email address from spam and data breaches. Game changers. Look, by taking these steps, you can actually transform your online life. You can take it from being this creepy, haunted house into a calm, protected space, more like a Zen garden. So, part 5 is all about this: reclaiming your digital soul.
And the benefits here are huge. We're talking stronger security against things like identity theft, which is massive. But it's also about reducing that constant low-level anxiety of feeling like you're being watched all the time. You get more control over your own personal story, and honestly, it just makes being online a lot less cluttered and creepy. And this all helps build a much healthier mindset. So here's a new way to think about it. Treat your online presence like a garden. You've got to tend to it, right? You have to prune it, protect it, don't let the weeds, or in this case, the data brokers, take over. It's not a one-and-done fix. It's a continuous, mindful process of taking care of your own space. So at the end of the day, your digital story is being written every single day, with every single click. And the real question is, who's holding the pen? Are you going to let the ghosts and the data brokers write that story for you, or are you going to be the one to take the pen back and write it yourself?